Well, hello friends. It is time for Olivia and my March thrift haul. We went thrifting today. We went to Salvation Army and then we went over to Twice Treasured 2 and then Twice Treasured. So we picked up some things at each stop and found some really nice things today. So let me go ahead and get started with Salvation Army. This is actually Olivia picked this out, but I bought it for her because it was like $1.99 or something. All their DVDs are $1.99. So I picked this up for her. And then for me, they had quite a few like things that must have been donated by another store because they were brand new, still with tags on them. I don't know what store they were from, but anyway, some of those items were, well, placed in time. Isn't that Walmart? I think that's Walmart. They had these two wooden, they're ornaments, but I'm going to use them for something else besides ornaments, and they're unfinished, so I'm going to stain them. And they've got like a holiday looking hanger, so I'll probably put some like jute cord on it. I know exactly what I'm going to use these for, but I'm going to have to do a little work on them. And ordinarily they were $4.99 a piece, and I got them for $1.99 at Salvation Army. I'm going to take off my sweater because it's quite warm today. Another item I got that was brand new, still with a tag, I paid $3 for it, and ordinarily it was $5. But it doesn't say what store, and I don't recognize the tag, but it's this chicken basket, and I know exactly what I'm going to use this for, and I will show you at the end of the video. I will show you how I'm using these items and how I have styled them at the end of this video, at least most of the items. Some of these things may not be there. I've got one particular item I'll show you in a minute that I got at Salvation Army that is going to be a big thrift flip. In fact, I'm probably going to need Scott's help with it, so I'm sure that won't be in this video, but I will definitely share it to you later. I found this is so adorable. You know how much I really like trinket boxes, but they have to be small, and normally trinket boxes are very expensive, but this one was only $2.99, and I know it's a Santa, but I will put it up with the rest of my trinket boxes even though it's not Christmas. But for $2.99 to get a trinket box, that's cheap. The last item I got that was also brand new, like I said, I don't know what store it came from, and I paid $3 for it. I don't know if I told you, I said I paid $3 for this. Yeah, I did. It was normally $5, I paid $3. But I got this cute little rattan braided chicken, so cute, and also for $3, and also from the same store that, like, I don't know, do you recognize that tag? It almost reminds me of like Five Below or something like that, or Target Dollar Spot. I don't know. But anyway, got this for $3. And then I picked up this plate. I love Currier and Ives, and it was $2.99, which I thought was such a good deal. I really liked it, and I'm just going to use it for decor, of course. And it's got it looks like it's a summer scene maybe on it. The back of it says Currier and Ives, the Old Grist Mill by Royal, made in the USA. There's the tag. All right. So then the last item I picked up from Salvation Army was the most expensive thing, and I think it's probably the most expensive thing I bought today. And like I said, it's going to be a thrift flip. It's this big clock, and I actually got it for the frame because of how deep it is, and it's made out of solid wood. I am going to use it like a shadow box, and I have, hopefully what I have in mind for it will work. I hope this is big enough. I paid $9.99 for it, so $10, and I'm going to have Scott help me take the front off of it and the clockworks out of it, and is probably just going to be like an open shadow box with no glass or anything on the front. If this had just been clear glass and not with the design, I probably would have just reused the glass, but it's like a stained glass, which is kind of pretty, especially like the flower at the bottom. But I don't think there's any way I can reuse the glass for anything else. But yeah, I will definitely be sharing the thrift flip with this when we get to it. But like I said, Scott's probably gonna have to help me because they have the back on here with some kind of putty, it looks like. So that's gonna be probably more than I can do myself. I am not super handy with tools and stuff like that. So that is everything I picked up from Salvation Army. Now let me show you what I picked up from Twice Treasured 2, which was our second stop. All right, so before I get on to the Twice Treasured 2, I was looking at my Salvation Army receipt, and Olivia's DVD, all the white tags were 50% off today, and I didn't know if that would include DVDs, but it did. And so her DVD was only 99 cents. So that's good. Anyway, now on to Twice Treasured 2. I picked up, you know how much I love pip berries, and there's this one booth in particular that always has pip berry rings and wreaths and all different kinds of things, and they're really a pretty good price. So I picked this up and it was $7.95, and I know exactly where I'm going to put it. Hopefully it works where I'm planning to put it. If not, I will find somewhere else for it. But again, I will show you that. I'm trying to take off this white string. I can't get it off. That's where the price tag was. I will show you where I put this in this video. The next item I thought was such a fantastic deal, and then when I went over to Twice Treasured, I found one exactly like it for 50 cents less. So I got that one too. But I picked up this ball jar for $4, and it's a bicentennial one. So this was from 1976, and I was needing a jar with a lid for something to use in my kitchen. And so when I saw this, I'm like, oh, this is perfect for the use that I have in mind for it. And so then like I said, I saw another one at Twice Treasured for 50 cents less. So I ended up getting that one as well. But $4, and it's got the lid, it's not chipped. I looked it all over, and it's perfect. It'll be perfect for what I need it for. And then I picked up this rooster. It was only, let me see, $3.75. I thought it was like a planter, like an antique planter, vintage planter, but on further inspection, it's got some sugar down in the bottom of there. So I think it was used as a sugar bowl, and the lid is actually missing. But for $3.75, that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stick some faux greenery in there and use it as a shelf sitter. I liked it because of the color, the coloration of it. I think it's just, I love these earth tones, and I think it'll go really well with my decor. And it says Alda's on the bottom, and with that flower bouquet motif on the bottom, that's another reason why I thought this was a planter. Maybe it was a planter, but I don't know. The more I look at it, I think this was they used it as a sugar bowl, and the lid is missing, but that's okay. I love it. Other than the lid being missing, it's in perfect condition. There's no chips or cracks or anything. So I got this chicken. I think it's a chicken. I don't think it's even a rooster, which chicken things are kind of hard to find. You usually find rooster things. And then I got this vintage salt and pepper shaker set. I'm obviously not going to use them for that, but they're Corel, and they're actually the pattern that I'm trying to collect. My mother had this pattern of dishes. In fact, I think they still have them. They're pretty much worn out now. All of the gold pattern on them are worn off, but I have fond memories of this Corelle pattern growing up. It was our everyday plates, and then we had Courier and Ive dishes that we used for holidays. So anyway, I saw these salt and pepper shakers. They were only $5, and of course I'm just going to set them on a shelf. And you know, this one says salt, and this one says pepper, and it's that gold. I don't even know what the name of this pattern is, but it's the gold floral pattern. And then the last thing I got at Twice Treasured 2, and Olivia didn't get anything at Twice Treasured 2, was this doily. I normally don't buy doilies there because they overprice them. In my opinion, they're overpriced. But this one is very nice and large, and it was only $3. So that's why I picked it up, because I thought this is a nice large doily, and I thought for $3 that was a pretty good deal. All right, now let me show you what I picked up from Twice Treasured. This was Twice Treasured 2. I get those two stores mixed up. But anyway, we'll show you what I got at the other store next. All right, I'm gonna show you first what Olivia picked up. She picked up this little slide puzzle. Definitely very vintage, and definitely from the South, because we don't have Piggly Wigglies around here. But it's one of those little slide puzzles that little kids used to play with. I remember getting, I probably in my stocking, one of these slide puzzles. Not from the Piggly Wiggly, but I don't even remember what the design was. But it was only $1, and it's cute, and it's kind of vintage. It's plastic, so it's not super old. Of course, even back when I was a kid, I'm super old, they were made out of plastic. So who knows how old it is. But there's that little slide puzzle. And then she picked up this vinyl, Three Dog Night. And I don't know, how much did she pay for the vinyl? $8 for the vinyl. And I like Three Dog Night. It's interesting. Told her when I get done with this haul, she should put the vinyl, put it on so we can listen to it. And then the last thing she picked up, she paid $5 for it, and this is a fixer-upper for sure. It is this teddy bear. She collects teddy bears, especially the older looking ones, and he's got a floppity-boppity neck. He needs some help, and he's very dirty. He feels crusty. So I'm going to take a picture of this, and I don't know if she'll have it done by the time I'm ready to edit and upload this video. But I'm definitely going to take a before picture, and then I will show you the after once she gives him a little makeover. He needs some help. Poor little guy. She looked at him and she's like, he's in rough shape, but I think he needs somebody to love him and take him home. So that's what she did. And yeah, he needs some help, but he's cute. And I don't know if he's not jointed, and I don't see any tags. So I don't know if he's a Boyd's bear or what he is, but I do know he's in rough shape and he needs some love. So she's going to do that. So that's what she picked up at Twice Treasured. And then I didn't pick up that much at Twice Treasured myself. I picked up another one of these little baskets. This one was only $1. And I love these little things for all kinds of stuff. And then in that booth where I got all my little miniature Boyd's Bears baskets, I love that booth. I go back in there every time I go into Twice Treasured, and she didn't have very many of those little baskets left. Probably I bought them all. I think I bought them all. But she did have this one. I paid $5 for it, and I'm sure I'll find some place to put it. And then I picked up this little guy. He's nothing real special. He was only $1.50, and you know I collect little duck figurines. There's no markings or anything on the bottom, and so $1.50. I had to give him a home. And then I picked up this Vera Bradley wallet, which I needed desperately because my wallet, the change purse part of it broke, and the one I have that I'm currently using is not really a Vera Bradley, but it kind of looks like a Vera Bradley, and I actually got it from Dollar General, believe it or not, several years ago, and it's made out of plastic. But I do like Vera Bradley, and they are pretty pricey. This one was retail $42, and I paid $4 for it, so you can't beat that. And I don't think it's ever been used. It's still got the original tag on it. So picked that little pocketbook up. And then here's the other jar that I told you about, and it was $3.50. I don't know if it was the same vendor or not, but same exact jar for 50 cents less. And then the last thing I picked up was this wooden shutter. I paid $9 for it, and Olivia's like, what is that? I said, it's a shutter. She's like, what do you use it for? And I said, you decorate with it. So I will be probably setting this on a shelf, using it as like a backdrop for something. But I think it's a real shutter. It's even got its hinges on it still. So it's pretty old, I think. The hinges are kind of rusty, but I think it's really cool. All right, that is my haul, the haul portion of this video. I'm probably going to take this evening and tomorrow to place all this stuff, and then I will bring you back and show you how I styled these pieces. So stay tuned.
What do you want from me?
I'm filming the process. Well, I forgot to get a before picture. Hopefully I can get like a still shot from when I did the other video. But explain the process. What have you done? You're doing surgery?
Well, first I washed the sweater and it's drying, but I have to rip open all the seams on, well, not all the seams, but an opening on each part of the body, and then I'm going to put the stuffing
In the marked bag?
in marked bags. I don't think this bear is as old as I thought it was, because there's like plastic pieces and the beads are plastic.
Oh, there's plastic beads in the body?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe like the 90s or something.
Possibly. And then once you get all the stuffing out, you're going to wash the bear?
Wash it and dry it.
I think I've got some of that Woolite type soap downstairs for like delicate stuff. So anyway, this is the process that she's working on this bear. So it's the next day, and I did work pretty much all the evening working on getting stuff put where I wanted it to. It takes me forever to do things, so I knew I wasn't going to rush it. But and in fact, I'm not completely done, so that will be in this video, but later. But right now, I wanted to show you what I've gotten done so far. This is what I had in mind for that chicken basket. I had bought a whole big box of these creamers at the Hope Center, and so instead of having a big giant cardboard box on the counter, I put those in this little chicken. I think that looks really cute, and it's easier for the guys to reach in there and get those. Sorry if you hear my teapot going in the background. But the idea I had for the blue glass jar was I had bought these tea bags a while ago, and the unfortunate thing I didn't realize was they don't have the paper little envelope that they're in that keeps them clean. So I've had to have this box on my counter, and so I thought I would get a container to put these tea bags in. Now, I'm not planning on buying this kind of tea again, although now that I have this mason jar, I could. But I was thinking when I bought them, I'm like, oh, I'll never buy these again, because I like to take my tea bags out of these big boxes and put them into a basket or some other smaller container. You can't really do that very well if it doesn't have the little envelope. But now I can get this box thrown away, and I've got my tea bags in here. And let me see if I can figure out how to latch this. There. So now they're nice and contained. I'm not sure where I'm going to keep them on my counter. I'll figure that out. And then I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this one. I wanted them kind of to sit together. I might put tea bags in this one as well, even though they have envelopes in them. We'll see. But I'll show you where I put these when I decide where I'm going to put them. I decided for this jar, I'm going to use it for my stevia packets. I don't use these that often, mainly because they were put into a cabinet. I always forget they're there, you know, out of sight, out of mind type situation. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this jar with stevia packets. And then over here on this tiny little counter that I have beside my stove, I am going to put this little skinny tray that I made. I made this a long time ago with Scott's help. Now this is just a basket of my dishcloths and dish towels that I have up here temporarily because Percy has learned how to open up my drawer and pull these out. But I don't know if that basket's going to fit here now. But I'm going to put my tea bags and my stevia packets there. And one of my Pioneer Woman measuring cups. In this chicken basket is more tea bags, which I think would look really cute there. Now, while this basket sit here, it does temporarily. We'll sit that there temporarily. When this doesn't have to be there anymore, that's what it'll look like, which I think is really cute. But this has to be here right now because of the silly puppy. And because these things are flammable, I'm going to switch things around. Maybe. I don't know if I can or not. Actually, no, I can't do that. So we'll just... I think I decided to move my tea kettle over here, my water kettle. I'll just find a different spot for that basket of dish towels and such. And I'm going to make this kind of like my little tea station. Put that there. And then I'll put my stevia syrup there. I wish this it does have a longer cord. Maybe I'll do it this way. This is the way I always do things. I change things around 1,000 times before I'm happy with it. Yeah, I think we'll do that. So now I have a little tea station for making my tea. This is how I have the shutter styled, and this is what I had in mind when I bought it. And then I originally had that blue Currier and Ives plate there, but I just thought it was too dark. It just didn't look right to me. So I picked this plate off of my shelf in the dining room, and I replaced it with the Currier and Ives plate that I just bought. I'll show you that in a minute. But then when you step back up on this shelf, I've had that tray there for a long time. I love it. but there's a couple of problems with it. It is a winter scene, and I just feel like there's too much dark there. So I am going to replace that tray with one of these Courier and Ives seasonal. This is the spring one, and we'll see how I like that. I also had to do quite a bit of rearranging last night because I just could not get things to look right. I ended up taking most of the Easter stuff off. Well, I took all of the Easter stuff off the top shelf, and down here I left these two little Easter bunnies. Now that's where I put that little basket that I just got, the little Boyd's Bear one. I just put some cardboard down inside to make it flat and put a doily on and then put the bunnies on it. And then this is that dollar basket that I got, and I just stuck those carrots in. So on this shelf I have three of my new pieces that I just got. And like I said, I played with this shelf for hours last night, and this is what I finally came up with. But like I said, the last little tweak I want to do is replace that tray. So I'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Oh yeah, that makes all the difference in the world. I like that a lot. In fact, I've got all 4 seasons thanks to my friend Kim. She gave me, I think she got me the winter one. It was the one I was missing. And I might just switch them out every season this whole year, because I really like the way that looks. I'm not sure where I'm going to put that little brown tray. I might just kind of retire it for a little while down in my stash. But yeah, I love how that looks. That turned out great. So there is the Courier and I's plate I just bought. Like I said, I replaced that red and white one that was up there with this one. And I've got that Courier and Ives plate there. And then that's not Courier and Ives, that's Pioneer Woman, but kind of gives off the same vibes because it's blue and white. So I have a blue and white, not blue and white, not blue and white. And I like that like the way that looks. Then over here on this little corner shelf in my kitchen is where I put that little chicken. I put some faux greenery in it, and then I put the little salt and pepper shakers there. I love how that turned out. I think that is so cute. That candle was on my mantle and I brought it over here. There just wasn't room for it over there anymore. So yeah, I love how that looks. This is where I put the bead wreath, the pipberry wreath. I just kind of interwove this ivy wreath within it and set it here. The lighting is kind of bad, but I set it there. It just makes it look more substantial and a little bit nicer than just the plain ivy wreath. So I'm really happy with that as well. I think I've said this before, but I really love pipberries in all their forms. I think they just are very country and rustic, and I love them. So down here in my vintage room, on my bookshelves that I recently styled, is where I set that little chicken on a little red doily. That looks really cute. And then over here on this little shelf is where I have my little duck collection, and there's the newest edition. Olivia's still working on her little bear. She has pretty much figured out that the head and the arms are kind of supposed to be that color, but they were, you don't know about that? Well, maybe not, but they won't come, the stains won't come out. But they felt really crusty, and so they are clean now and they smell good. So if they're stained, they're stained. If they're supposed to be that way, they're supposed to be that way. She found out that wobbly neck is supposed to be, it's called a
Wobble joint.
Wobble joint. She did tighten it a little bit, and she did a bunch of research. She looked online last night and really can't find out a whole lot about this bear. The main thing that we have determined, or she has determined through her research, is that this is not really that old of a bear. It is a reproduction of an old bear, but from anything that she can find, it's probably no older than the 80s, 1980s. I would assume it's probably, because of the state of it, like how dirty and stuff it was, I would say it's probably from the 80s, which is still pretty old. So anyway, she's finishing it up. She's going to brush it out. She washed the sweater, and once she gets it all done and finished, I will take a picture of her finished product of her cute little bear. This is where we're going to go ahead and end this video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I really do enjoy going thrifting, and I enjoy sharing with you how I style the items in my home. If you haven't already figured it out, I'm really kind of trying to change my style over to vintage and antique type style and decor, and I really enjoy it. As always, let me know in the comment section below which item was your favorite, and thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye bye, friends.